so pale at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight, o'er the ramparts we watched, were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets spread where the bombs bursting in air gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Forces, men and women who throughout history have embraced the sacrifice of service to our country in order to protect our freedoms. There are over 19 million, almost 10% of Americans alive who have served in the U.S. Armed Forces. On behalf of those veterans and their family members, I want to thank you. I want to thank Principal Johnson, the staff, and of course the students of Star Spencer for hosting this Veterans Day event. I offer special thanks to Principal Johnson for taking additional responsibility of allowing this event to take place. I'd also like to thank Ms. Burton. Although Ms. Burton did not serve in the military, she championed vigorously for the Veterans Day program to take place, as she has with many others in the building who I have great respect for. It was Ms. Burton who organized many Veterans Day events in the past and asked me to speak today. I now ask for a moment of silence for all the veterans who have transitioned on. Thank you. I'd like to recognize the veterans in our school building for their service and sacrifice. Colonel Peck and Master Sergeant Walker, who head up our great JROTC department. Miss Cole, Mrs. Rambo, and Miss Russell. Welcome to this Veterans Day celebration. It is indeed a privilege for me to honor a very special, select group of Americans. In our community, we have veterans who have served in the Vietnam War, Desert Storm, and our recent and ongoing conflicts like Operation Enduring Freedom in Iraq and the recent cessation of combat operations in Afghanistan, along with other conflicts in the occasional periods of peacetime. Many past graduates of Star Spencer, and there are future veterans here at our school today, which include one young man I'd like to mention who will be enlisting in the United States Marine Corps. He is currently a senior here at Star Spencer and will be entering basic training upon graduation summer 2022. He will join other recent graduates of this school, also future veterans who are serving in various branches of the military service. The call to service in the U.S. Armed Forces comes from a sense of service, sacrifice, and that is part of a long-standing tradition in our country. Many of us were raised with that sense of duty and obligation. I was born on July 11, 1971 in Atlanta, Georgia, exactly 4 years before the official end of the Vietnam War. The Vietnam War had started in November 1st, 1955 and ended April 30th, 1975. My mother served in the Air Force during this time period, which greatly influenced me in the later years. I was raised in an environment that taught me the importance of serving, not only in the military, but the broader value of serving others. I grew up with strong patriotism at a time when our country needed us. Most rose to that occasion, especially the veterans here in our very own building. The reason I served, the reason they served, was to defend the United States of America, along with their loved ones, which gave them someone to come back home to. Some served a short period of time in the reserves, the Guard, or some made a career out of the military, like I did. In many cases, they came back home and continued to serve their communities. Behind every person who served in the U.S. Armed Forces is a story unique to that person. Why did I join? If they went for a career, why did they stay? I want to share my story with you, not because it's particularly unique, but because it's important for those of us who have served to share our stories. Sometimes we may not want to, but history requires it. When we are gone, the sense of service, sacrifice, and honor that we came to know could be forgotten if we don't tell our stories. After all, the majority of veterans in our country now are 65 or older. In telling my story, I hope to encourage others to do the same. During my senior year in high school, I enlisted in the United States Army Reserves on October 27, 1988. After graduating from high school in 1989, I started college, and the summer after my freshman year, I reported to Fort Ord, California for basic training. The next summer, I reported to Fort Belvoir, Virginia to begin advanced individual training as I began learning my job as a print lithographer, a psychological operations soldier. After spending 10 years in the reserves, I completed college ROTC and was designated an armor officer who would eventually transition to the Signal Corps. Throughout my 26 years of service, I attended many schools. One I'm most proud of is my attendance and graduation from the Command and General Staff College, as it would prepare me for my time as a senior leader in the Army. I started my military career as an E1, enlisted, and retired as an Army Major. I'm very proud of my service as it has taken me all around the world to include multiple tours, 7 deployments, Iraq, Kuwait, and Afghanistan. My time as an enlisted member, a buck sergeant, and retirement as an Army Major made me very proud of my service. It provided me with many valuable skills and lessons, but one of the most important lessons was the importance of serving our country and our community. Because of my service in the U.S. Army, I saw the world, I forged friendships, and was able to develop a rewarding career and had the opportunity to raise my family. Recognizing someone as a veteran recognizes their service in the military. Whether at home or abroad, veterans served our country. You can serve by expanding your education after high school or returning home to your community as a professional or by attending a trade school and coming back skilled to contribute to your communities. On Veterans Day, we recognize that service, but also the friendship and bonds forged during our service and devotion to something bigger than ourselves. In closing, I ask that God bless all of our veterans. God bless their families and friends, and may God bless America on this Veterans Day. Thank you very much.